Testing, 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 testing. Welcome back, Truth Seeker. I want to talk a little bit more about the reported suspected overdose of Angus Cloud, the young actor known from HBO's Euphoria, who reportedly passed yesterday, July 31st, 2023, at the young age of 25. It was one of two deaths reported on the same day, both connected to the same network, HBO. Of course, the other was Pee Wee Herman, who made his debut back in 1981 with the Pee Wee Herman Show on home box office, or again, HBO. So again, I had not seen the show Euphoria, and I took the time last night to watch the first and second episode, and I'm glad I took the time because in the second episode, understand Angus Cloud is the neighborhood drug dealer. The show's about teenagers growing up with drugs and pills everywhere. The main character is a young girl who got addicted to drugs as an 11-year-old from being prescribed pain medication in the hospital. And again, that's a common story in America. People getting hooked on drugs through what they're given in the hospital. But this is what the movie's about, or the show's about. And again, this man plays the neighborhood drug dealer and is now reportedly dead from a drug overdose. But here's what blew me away. In the second episode, which is called Stuntin' Like My Daddy, and that's because in the beginning of the song they're playing the Lil Wayne and Birdman song, Stuntin' Like My Daddy, from the, I think around 2006, 2007, earlier 2000s. And of course, you know, Lil Wayne's known for having overdosed but survived. But anyway, again, Angus Cloud, they're saying his father just died in real life, and now he's dead. This episode begins with the song Stuntin' Like My Daddy. He sells the drugs to the main character who overdoses but survives. But notice how when she's being taken out by the paramedics, you can see the fire truck. And again, that's the story yesterday, that Angus Cloud's mother called and the fire department responded and he was dead on the scene. But in the scene where you have the overdose and Stuntin' Like My Daddy, you can see the 45 on the fire truck. Well, what did we talk about yesterday before I'd even watched this? The significance of him dying 45 days after the anniversary of the debut of the show on 45 date numerology, which again is a big number with the Jesuits, whose acronym is IHS, which equals 45. And again, July 31st, the day of the death. Special day to the Jesuits because it's the day in history that their founder died, Ignatius of Loyola. So we talked about the 45 yesterday. Again, if you're new here, Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. IHS, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, is 45. Notice the name Angus Cloud is 153, like Jesuit orders 153. And again, he died on July 31st, the special day to the Jesuit order, the day leaving 153 days left in the year. If you run the alphabetic order forwards, drug overdose is 153. Again, what a fitting day. And again, dead at 25, HBO 25. His birth name is Connor. Connor's also 25. It's also 70, which goes with Pee Wee Herman's birth name and his age of death on the same day when both men are connected to HBO. But also death, of course, is 25. So that really jumped out. Again, Stuntin' Like My Daddy. The news is he's dead and his dad. 45. Dead 45 days after the June 19th anniversary of the debut of the show. Again, yesterday, the day he died, had 45 date numerology. As we say, you follow what these people are remembered for. You connect the numbers in their suspicious deaths to their work. It always lines up, sadly. So, a lot of people have pointed out that he looks like Mac Miller. Remember, Mac Miller died in a big Jesuit ritual, September 7th, 2018, which is Eazy-E's birthday. Of course, Eazy-E died in a big Jesuit ritual. It's also the anniversary of Tupac dying, who died in a big Jesuit ritual. Mac Miller, he had the song The Jesuits. The Jesuits. And he also has a song with Lil Wayne. And we're going to talk about Lil Wayne's age right now. We're going to talk about where Lil Wayne fits in with this. Because again, this episode is named after a Lil Wayne song. And Lil Wayne is 40 years old right now. He'll be 41 on September 27th. September 27th is the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome in history. That's the day leaving 95 days left near their original purpose was to counter the 95 Theses. But again, Lil Wayne is 40 years old, approaching 41. Overdose is 40 with numerology forwards, 41 in reverse. And notice how Overdose is also 103. Stuntin' Like My Daddy, the name of that song, is 103. And for the record, 103 is the 27th prime number. A lot of dead stars at age 27. If you run it in reverse, or 103 is the 27th prime number. Ritual equals 27. If you run it in reverse, ritual's 45, the number we were talking about. And then the day that he passed on was a day with 45 and 81 numerology. Notice rituals 81 forwards and backwards. And remember, the Pee Wee Herman death was announced yesterday, also on the 81 date numerology. And Pee Wee Herman's HBO show began in the year 1981. And also, Pee Wee Herman's film is about recovering a stolen bicycle. And also yesterday in the news, the first death in the news was the young bicyclist who's on Team USA, Angus White. Or Magnus, Angus, just all this intertwined stuff from the world of Jesuit theater, and then the ongoing Jesuit murder rituals, which are a spider web of connected storylines. Okay, so again, dead at 25, born Connor, which has the gematria of 25 and 70. Again, Pee Wee Herman dead at 70. Paul Rubens, who also got his start on HBO. We covered again, Jesuit order, Angus Cloud, overdose, drug overdose, how this all fit in on July 31st, the anniversary of Ignatius of Loyola's death. The episode, this episode right here, Stuntin' Like My Daddy, the second episode of Euphoria, it debuted June 23rd. So, again, he died 45 days after the anniversary of the first episode. Well, the next episode was 7 days later. So this episode, he died 38 days from the anniversary of this episode, like how Pee Wee Herman died 38 years after his movie coming out about the bicycle being stolen, and like how the bicyclist, who was also dead in the news yesterday, died in Colorado, the 38th state in order of statehood. And just if you're new here, Colorado has that gematria 38, so does murder, so does killing, so does RIP, so does death. To put killing back up there, killing also has the 74. Angus Cloud is dead 74 weeks after the last episode of Euphoria aired. I do think there will be more seasons, but just from where it is, it's pause after 2 seasons. And funny enough, that last episode of Euphoria was February 27th, 2022, the 58th day of the year. This man who was asked to portray Mac Miller in a film, again, because they look so much alike, Angus Cloud was asked to portray Mac Miller. Mac Miller, who overdosed, Mac Miller died 58 months before Angus Cloud. 58 months. And Angus Cloud died 58 days before Lil Wayne's upcoming birthday. Again, Stuntin' Like My Daddy's Lil Wayne song. And it's funny because, Jeff Young was just on us the day that Randy Weisner died last week. And, Randy Meisner, excuse me. Getting my W's and my M's confused, getting dyslexic. But Jeff was bringing up all the celebrities who've died in the bathtub. You had Nick Carter's brother last year, of course, Whitney Houston, her daughter, Jim Morrison. Remember Lil Wayne in the 6', 7" music video. It begins with him falling backwards into the bathtub. And go back and watch that music video and listen to what's said in the beginning before he falls back into the bathtub, seemingly dressed for a funeral. Anyhow, Mac Miller, 58. Last episode of Euphoria on the 58th day of the year. This death 58 days before Lil Wayne's birthday, and Lil Wayne and Mac Miller have the song together. Again, I'm going to be redundant. We're going to go over all of these things several times to make sure it sticks. Notice the song "Stuntin' Like My Daddy." The single came out July 18th, 2006. That date can be written 18/7, like 187, the homicide code. Um, this is a typo. This should have been July 31st. I was working on this last night. But, okay, here's the point I wanted to make. Again, July 31st was the date with 81 numerology, but the name of this album that this song's on, Like Father, Like Son, notice it's 81. And again, this song used for that episode, and then he dies on the 81 date numerology after his father dies. And again, for the person going, how can all this be? It's because, like I've said a million times, we've been studying this for a decade now. It's obvious that the people who run these industries, they've had these entertainers sign and sell their soul, and it's obvious that as they have them make their entertainment, they're fulfilling a script that's also a part of their planned demise. The same numbers that are encoded in the work that they're doing and they're remembered for is the same numbers that pop up when we read about headlines like we did yesterday. So, again, it's because the same cabal is controlling the entertainment industry. The Jesuits. For the record, Euphoria has the Gematria 42 like Jesuit, like Pee Wee Herman did 42 years after 1981. So, again, Mac Miller's death was September 7th, 2018. And just to remind you of this one, Mac Miller's birth name, Malcolm James McCormick. Notice the Gematria, 79, right? September 7th can be written 7-9. Eazy-E's birthday. The day Tupac was shot. Society of Jesus, that's the formal title of the Jesuits, 79. For the record, Murder 79. LeBron and Kevin Durant. The other year, supposedly, their rap song together was found, It Ain't Easy, on Eazy-E's birthday. Don't forget how Eazy-E's death was synced with the Lethal Injection album by Ice Cube, and how he died 201 days after his birthday. Again, another huge number of the Jesuits. That's why Pope Francis, the first pope to live in Suite 201 and the first Jesuit pope. Okay, also, in light of Angus Cloud dying 58 days before Lil Wayne's birthday, who's stunting like his daddy, which is Birdman. If you don't know, Lil Wayne and Birdman have a gay relationship. It's gross. In light of him dying 58 days before the upcoming birthday, that means he died 307 days after the last. 307 is the 63rd prime number. Notice how drug overdose is 63 forwards and backwards. And again, 153 as well happens on the day, leaving 153 days left in the year. Lil Wayne, who survived a drug overdose, who, because he's done too much zerp, has the seizures problem. And again, Lil Wayne's 40 years old right now, approaching 41. So Mac Miller has the song The Jesuits. Interesting song title. You know what? Let's just read the lyrics. Mac Miller, The Jesuits, because in all the years I've been aware of this, I've actually never read the lyrics. Let's see what's in the song. Right out the backyard, rhymes out, the crack jar. The facts are that Mac brought the cash for the caviar. Laugh hard, staying out the way of bad karma. And black tar covered demons when they have drama. You latch on to hope, but it ain't working out. This garden snake you knew done grew into a serpent now. And my mind is perverted, foul, wow. My time, you got to earn it now. All right, dance circles around the lava. And bitches coming over just to twerk around the casa. Yeah, let me see that ass, bitch. Yeah, as the Virgin Mary get deflowered, arouse her and let her put her mouth in my trousers. Woke up, made a couple million 'fore I showered. Spent an hour with Jack Bauer. and the kids from Rocket Power watching television. Sometimes the truth is better when it's fiction. It's never written, never find a bed in prison. Dealing with addictions, when I beat it, then it's switching to something else. Shit, I'm only running from myself, but I'm running fast and I'm tired. My whole fucking life is a science experiment. Terrorist rhetoric. Stare, make the devil flinch. Paint is hemorrhaging, the roof is scabbing. Finna peel off, sky's teal hand rolling in eel sauce. A bit harder to look at, put a home invasion. Throw the earnings in my book bag. Learned about the Xanax and Opena, cause ain't nobody really ever taught me how to cook crack, but I got about a half Rite Aid in my book bag. Bitch, I'm always high, that's why I look sad. Glad bag full of kush, burn the same bush Moses had a conversation with. Could make a Mason, bitch Croatian. We run a train, you finna date the bitch. The new age, Johnny Blaze and shit. I got the homies in your neighborhood knocking like these. Ends lost a dog. Mama look for her boy. She better call the morgue. I'm a ball hog. I tell my ends I ain't finna pass it. You ain't gonna duck smoking Hawaiian skunk. Elephant tusk necklace just to provide the stunt. Wear a Waldo outfit, you wouldn't find me once. I hit the ocean floor inside a slut. Disintegrate into the finest dust. Then I poof. I'm out. And so anyway, mentions some biblical mentions: Moses, Virgin Mary, a bunch of sinister stuff. It's a wicked song, like the Jesuits. Maybe that's why he called it the Jesuits. Delusional Thomas. Again, I've honestly never listened to Mac Miller's music. I'm not familiar with it. I don't know what else is on that album, but I do find that real interesting in light of his passing. And again, here we are now with the Mac Miller lookalike, dead on the very important day to the Jesuits. And again, just how perfect it is. July 31st is the day Angus Cloud. I was watching this Angus Cloud interview, and he's reading the card. He's like, Angus Cloud, if that's what my name is. Again, those are his two middle names, supposedly. But I thought that was weird that he said that. I was like, if that's what my name is? And it almost seems like the guy's an act, even outside of the show, portraying the same character that he portrays inside of Euphoria. So, again, I mean, some of you guys left comments that it's just Mac Miller and it's another hoax to pull on the heartstrings of his fans. But I got to ask, I mean, how many fans does a guy like Angus Cloud have? Isn't he just one character in one show? Also interesting, the song with Lil Wayne and Mac Miller, The Question. Check out the Gematria, The Question. The Question, 153, 54, 144, and 54 again. 153, 54, 144, just like Jesuit order. 153, 144, 54. Yesterday they were pulling the ritual with X. After 24 complaints, they had to take it down in Jesuit town, San Francisco. And again, in Sumerian Gematria, we just multiply the alphabetic order times 6. X goes from 24 complaints, rebranded on the 24th of the month, to 144. And we know Elon Musk and the whole world of big tech, it's Jesuit. So yeah, Lil Wayne once survived an overdose himself. You know, speaking of San Francisco, look at the picture of the Lil Wayne overdose story. They got him in all Giants gear. San Francisco, named after St. Francis of Assisi, who created the Franciscans, which was the precursor to the Jesuits. That's why Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope, named after St. Francis of Assisi. And for one more, again, Angus Cloud is dead 38 days after the episode of where he causes the overdose of the main character. Death, murder, killing, R.I.P. They're all 38. Lil Wayne is 38, you know. But Samuel Levinson, who writes the show Euphoria, he's 38 years old right now, and you know, doesn't that all just seem a little bit too perfect? And Pee Wee Herman dead 38 years after his movie, and synced up with the bicyclist dead in the 38th state. When we're talking about the same stuff over and over, the writer for the show's 38, and the first character to die from the show dies 38 days after the symbolic episode. So, and then again, the last episode so far, February 27th, the 58th day of the year, which was 74 weeks ago. 74 weeks ago. Killing 74. Gematria 74. Both words 74 and 38 to be exact. Again, Gematria, the killing name. The Slipknot song. But yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, you know, had I not watched the episode last night, we already had plenty of information to see what was going on. But then you actually go back and you watch, and you go, my goodness. I mean, it's just perfect. It's perfect. And the Pee Wee Herman parallel in the movie Blow, you know, he's connected to drugs. He's a drug dealer himself, so. Both men from HBO announced dead in the same day. Pee Wee Herman had died the day prior by the numbers as we talked about. But both stories break on the same day, July 31st. All right, Truth Seeker. We'll leave it there for now. And thank you, Camely. Camely with the super chat says, Mac Miller has a song called Euphoria. Here, let's look it up. It's spelled different. Whoops. There we go. Oops. That's not the lyrics. Yeah, so another parallel. Appreciate that, Camly. Thank you. And later today, we'll do another stream. We'll talk about plans for Kobe. Again, do that stream later, and we'll cover any other news that breaks today between now and then. This thing about Phoenix in 110-degree days, again, I lived in Arizona for 4 years while I was in college. I remember it being 110 like almost every day in the summer. So I'm just like, is this really a record? Is this weather different? I mean, that's how it always was when I was there. It was 20 years ago. So, again, media is always creating ideas in your mind that might not jive with reality. All right, True Seeker, we'll leave it there for now. And until next time.